Very much for all of that reporting.
Thank you.
And calls to action are sweeping Europe, sparked by the killing of George Floyd as the Black Lives Matter movement continues to grow overseas. Thousands marched against racist police brutality earlier today in Amsterdam's Nelson Mandela Park. Organizers there say the park could reach capacity with some 18,000 people by the end of the day. The groundswell in Europe is triggering a larger debate about the continent's ties to colonialism and slavery, and the monuments honoring figures that perpetuated both. Joining us now from London is NBC News global correspondent Helena Humphrey. So, Helena, what's happening?
Hi there, Katie. Great to be with you. As you mentioned, thousands turning out there in Amsterdam in Nelson Mandela Park, marching in solidarity with protesters in the United States, but also calling for a frank conversation about Dutch colonial history and relations with the police there as well. Now, similarly, in London, in Brixton, where I am right now, a multicultural neighbourhood, hundreds of people have packed out this square. They took the knee, with organisers calling for that protest to now become a weekly occurrence. But certainly, it is statues in Europe which are becoming the flashpoint of anger from protesters. For example, take a look at those scenes from the city of Bristol over the weekend, 2 hours west of here in London. There, protesters toppled the statue of the 17th century slave trader Edward Colston, and they rolled that then into the harbour there. Similarly, in London, the statue to the Prime Minister during the wartime period, Winston Churchill, was defaced with the words "Winston Churchill was a racist," taking aim at his racist remarks and his staunch defence of the British Empire. And if you take a look at Antwerp, a city in Belgium, there yesterday authorities removed a statue to King Leopold II, somebody who had a reign of colonial terror over Congo in the 1800s. Now, Professor David Olusoga, who is a historian, has questioned whether statues are even the best way to faithfully record history. Take a listen.
Problem is statues are simple. Statues say this man was a hero and that's the end of it. They can't debate. There's no nuance. There's no flexibility. That's why statues are not an effective mechanism for telling us our history.
And of course, this just reflecting that long-standing debate in the United States with regards to Confederate-era monuments there as well, and really reflecting now the global nature of this movement. Katie?
Helena, what's it feel like there? Are you feeling the same groundswell, the same unity in London as we're feeling here in the States?
I think it definitely is a sense of unity, Katie, and it's more than that. It is unity for what is happening in the United States, calls for justice which are reaching across the Atlantic, but it is also calls for some introspection as well for the United Kingdom, for countries in Europe to really get to grips with their colonial era past, to talk about it clearly in schools, to make sure that it's on the school programs, and to deal with police brutality as well. Accusations very much centered here in Europe with regards to that as well.
Helena Humphrey. Helena, thank you very much for joining us. And next up, some Democrats say Joe Biden must meet this moment by picking a woman of color as his running mate. We're going to go into 2020 when we come back.